works over cellular. As best I can tell, we're going to drop a few frames. Seems like there's a lower frame rate on the cellular versus the Wi-Fi, but we'll get more coverage. We're going to go on a little bit of an adventure. We're going to see if we can actually go out into the woods. And it claims that we are now 12 seconds into this extraordinary once-in-a-lifetime event. But I am attempting to see whether or not there's anything here, and I'm not seeing anything. Well, that's curious. Here we are 29 seconds in, and nothing has popped up. It could be because I set a thing in the future. A thing in the future. That's a way to talk. I did a thing in the future. I set a premiere date or moment. Let's see, latest. It doesn't show here. So let me actually go into Studio. That's probably a significant and important part to verify. Let's do content. Let's go live. Let's see whether or not, hey, it says right here, I'm live, which means I can jump over and I can take a peek and see whether or not, oh, that's hilarious. The description has all of the default info on there. I didn't really put that together. Today I learned. You know what? That's all part of this. I think we're doing just fine. A learning adventure, so it were. There we go. Let's go ahead and zoom that in right there. And let me just verify with my own eyeballs that we have folks in the chat, at which point we can do a walk and talk. Shush me. Hey, Dylan Theus maintains his record. Kelvin Tan says, wow. So is the wow a reaction to the fact that we're live, or is it a reaction to the quality of the video over cellular? Did I mention this is over cellular? The big thing we want to figure out is whether or not we're dropping frames. Subjectively, it looks like there was frame droppage. But again, I'm going to grade on a curve because it is remarkable that this is working at all. It is going to be a bummer because I'm going to have to just hope this is working, and I'm not going to be able to see the chat while we're walking because the program wants to be in the foreground the entire time. However, we have working for us the fact that Modern Rogue World headquarters is right in the shadow of an LTE tower that gets like 60 megabits up and down, which should, in theory, mean everything looks really great. Broke Bros Production says, damn, this is some crispy live video. Again, grading on a curve. This is over the cell phone. Sorry, I'm holding this up looking like a commercial from the 1980s. Okay, yeah, I can see it right here. There's definitely some frame droppage. Now, I wonder whether or not that frame droppage... Well, here, you know what? Here, let's take a look right here. Here, now you can see this is kind of frame on frame assaulting right now. In fact, here's what I'll do. Let me get down here. There we go. What do I want to ask Siri? There we go. Look at that guy. You know what? Zoom on in. Take a look at him. How's he doing? This looks like if you've ever seen that Mr. Show bit, the pre-taped call-in show, where at the end he melts down and he starts pulling out the TV saying, this is what you're watching right now. Look at this. So the next thing I want to check is the audio levels. I tried enabling something that I haven't done before. I tried enabling the auto gain feature on you. This is amazing. It's actually doing the thing. We'll have to watch the we'll have to watch the pre-taped college show bit from Mr. Show one when we're actually down there. Hey, Bosnar, greetings from the United States of America. I hope all is well in Serbia. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, well then we'll just do a little walkabout. We'll actually see if we can make it all the way on a full lap out into the backwoods, the 7-acre schwood. Oh man, although part of me does just want to see how far this rabbit hole goes. Part of me really does just want to kind of sit here and wait to see. I wonder at what point the dopamine will stop hitting and it'll stop being novel. But for right now, it's just sort of a miracle. I'll tell you what, I'll finish my coffee. We could do that, right? If that works for you guys. How many levels of recursion are we in now? Oh no, I just realized I'm going to leave real time. I guess you know what? You guys throw some stuff in the chat and then you could get a sense of what the lag is. So you guys could just say random things and then kind of time it, and you can tell me what the lag is. Everyone can self-report their subjective experience on what big the lag is. I talk human. I English words. Oh, look at that. You get double holo mirrors because I've been holding my phone here so long. Yep, this is exactly what it looks like. I once was told when I was younger that all you need to do to entertain a child is let them stand in front of a mirror. And now here I am at the tender age of half a goddamn century, literally just staring into a mirror, a hall of mirrors. So Broke Bros gives it okay. Jared Burkhart says 15 seconds. Hey, Matt, how are you, man? It's good to see you again. Matt, where are you located nowadays? I think you had told me before. Michael Pena, I see that you have just arrived and missed the fact that, guess what? This is cellular. We're on cellular right now. Yeah, so what's happening right now, I'm not streaming from the phone. We're testing out the new camera that if it continues to just surprise and delight me the way it is, this means that I could do stuff like go out and do man on the street interviews. I can do very, very fast turnaround, interesting social experiments. But what you're hearing is I am currently wearing one of our production mics on a wireless pack, and I have just taped the receiver to a light stick, so it's kind of a standing avatar for you guys. And on top of that is an OBS Bot Tail 2, which they're not paying me for this. In fact, I had to pay them. And the connection, the app right here, it's got a built-in just stream straight from your phone. So I'm not going to turn off my phone or put it to sleep. I'll just put it in my pocket. Although first, I want to get this back. So let's see. I'll just kind of zoom this back out. This will be a lot better once. Now I know to use the gimbal thing. So we have that. I could do this, and it'll recognize me as a person. And then we could just keep on going. I'm going to unplug this from here. And we could just go for a walk. I hope you guys are bristling with the excitement that I'm feeling in terms of like everything that becomes possible if we, we'll zoom this out. A lot of things get a lot more interesting if there we go. Double click on me. There we go. So hopefully it knows that I am a human. And I could go to, let's see, the AI. Oh, look at this. Okay. Adjust portrait framing size, perform. Okay. Interesting. All right. So, sorry, that's not very interesting to you guys. But let's get out. Let's get out in the actual wilds. There we go. Well, at this point, I just have to take it on faith that we're actually transmitting the entire time. But our goal here is to go out for a walk and see what happens. I will pivot this. You know what? Okay, I could make a habit of putting that there. And I can twist this like this. Okay, that was getting loose. It's a good thing that I found that. I can pivot this down a scooch so that I can hold this out like this. Okay, you know what? I'll actually move this down even a little bit more. Trust me, this is all worth it. All of this tedium, all of your patience. I suppose you guys get to kind of ride the novelty of this all, of us not knowing. Oh, look at this. I think I just figured out another trick of us not knowing how good this is and whether or not it'll work. Because as we've talked about on the Modern Rogue, we've done a pretty good job of establishing you never know whether or not it's going to work. Okay, so in this case, that's about as difficult a framing as I can imagine, what with, you know, the sun in the shot. But it seems to be managing okay. Let me do this. Let me obliquely say, you know what? Somebody email modernrogueshow@gmail.com and just say, yes, this is working. And then that will kind of act as a push notification for now. I don't think that'll be a problem long term. Ah, okay. That'd be great if I was able to know whether or not we were live right now. Let's see, good hygiene. Ah, so it'd be like this. That gives me an estimate of what I'm working with. So I'm not seeing anything from you guys, so I actually don't know whether or not I'm streaming at all right now. But you guys can hopefully let me know. And meanwhile, there we go. So this is going to blast out for a second. It'll take a moment for the auto exposure to correct. If it does, hopefully, waiting, a littering and, oh man, I'm not getting anything from you guys. So now I'm in the interesting conundrum of I'll have to leave the app in order to see whether or not anybody's in the chat. So I may drop again. Oh, there we go. Aaron, thank you very much, Aaron. Recent patron. Thank you very much. Head on over to, why don't you be like Aaron? Head on over to patreon.com/modernrogue. By the way, I'm getting ready to start dropping extra bonus content back there, including some stuff that I've done just inside the email list, but I know a lot of you guys will dig it in the Patreon environment a little bit more. So cool. If it's live now, then I'll not worry about it. Aaron, feel free. Ah, there we go. Thank you very much, Michael. Appreciate it. The stream is all good. Look, this is working. We figured all this out. Let's go for a walk. All right. So, wow. You know what? That on this, it looks supremely smooth. I wish I had a sense of whether or not that was the case at home, but I guess I'll see the playback later. A couple of things we're working on, and I'm going to have to press pause on some of this on account of Founders Day, but for like $70, I tried throwing a tarp on this because I wanted to see whether or not this could hold water. I'm really interested in what it would look like to rehabilitate. This used to be the soaking pool back when this was a nudist colony, and we used it to blow stuff up. But now, I don't know, it'd be nice to have, ideally, it would be fun to set up a chiller / heater. So like in the middle of winter, this could be a giant, luxuriously big hot tub, but in the middle of summer when it's 108 degrees in Austin, it could be hooked up to a chiller unit so that you could do a little cold plunge. So something reminiscent of here in Austin, we have Barton Springs, which is famously 69 degrees all year round. Oh, look at this. Thank you for all the helpful emails coming in. So then, at any rate, that's another rehab. Some of you guys figured out that part of the reason that I bought the property is because as I looked at so many things that needed to be fixed up, I'm like, so many interesting stories to tell. And so I'm excited to get back to that. Some of you guys may not have known this. So we saw a little bit of Bonnie's art yesterday. And there we go. So this is part of her Moonlight series. I got to stop looking at that. You know what? Here we go. Welcome to professional host Brian. You know, yesterday we saw some of the fabulous art by Bonnie Brushwood. Ceramics, earth that tries to be sky. There's nothing I love more than an element trying to be something it's not supposed to be. That's why I love remixes, mashups, and the like. And in this case, this is a good example. So this place was a former nudist colony, and Bonnie had kind of this, I don't know, this vision of what it must have looked like for free-spirited young ladies in the 1960s to come and, you know, do all the hippie shit, dance around in the moonlight. And so to celebrate her kiln and her ability to try crazy things, she made these monstrously large vessels. And I love them. And I love not just that they exist, because first of all, it's very difficult to do big, airy structures made of stone. So already it's kind of punk rock and Evel Knievel. But then on top of that, all of these guys came out, and the design you could see has this evocative feminine look to it. And she was able to capture kind of the emotion at the time, the vibe and the motion and everything. And then on top of that, I love the fact that she placed them out here to where they kind of exist as standing stones. I mean, you know what I'm talking about with like Stonehenge. But anyway, these guys are fantastic. And there's a fourth one over here. Okay. There we go. So this is sort of the Narnia portal. Whoa, wait a minute. Somebody got freaked out. Shh, it's okay. It's okay. You're okay. You're okay, buddy. There we go. Yeah, you good? Let's take a look. Take a look. Wow. Guys, I'm beginning to think this camera is a pretty good investment. I think that I don't like to overpromise, but since we're just hanging out speculating during this live real-time test, the mic system that I'm using right now has a second mic that's meant to be a clip-on, but I just ordered a handheld stick mic that's designed for you to just plug that in and put a windscreen over. So it's actually a stick mic, which means just walking down the street like this, I could do man on the street interviews. And so now I'm trying to think, what would be a good Brian on the street, downtown Austin thing to do? So this is where I'm actively soliciting all the crazy ideas you guys can think of, because even if they're silly and bad, oftentimes there's a good seed of an idea that can come out. So whatever crazy thing you'd like to see Brian do. Now, some of it will be obvious, like, Brian, do magic on the streets. Yes, but I don't mind. That would be a safe thing to do. I don't mind doing the crazy, dangerous thing, the socially awkward thing, if it yields insights and an opportunity for us all to learn here. Okay, this seems to be working. So let's go into Narnia. And by the way, this portal used to be much, much bigger. It used to, there we go. I'm going to stop looking at my dumb face. All of this used to be wide open, but then in the freeze, you guys saw some of the footage of giant limbs snapping off and whatnot. This whole, let's see if we can get a better shot of it. Take a look at this. Whoa, that's the sky. That's not at all right. Come on, buddy. There you go. There you go. Look at this. So over here, it cracked and fell all the way down, totally blocking off the front, which was pretty bad. I don't know why I'm shouting. You're right here. Was pretty bad. But then now it's all grown. You can see that these junipers, we call them cedars in Texas. These cedars, you can see this is all growing up. But all of this just fell right over because all of this is a bush. And then now it's like, okay, I guess this is my life now. And it's growing up, which creates, quite by accident, kind of like a scar healing over the land, creates this awesome, unexpected portal where you walk in and then you discover, oh, wait, there's a trail. And then you suddenly, oh. Okay, now this is enough that I'm going to drop this. Sorry for the close-up, guys. There we go. How's that? Okay. Yeah. So tomorrow, we'll see if we can actually get some footage of the pup running around. We'll see if we can. One of the things that the AI is good at now is capturing up to a bazillion different animals. Like it knows what a dog is versus a horse versus a pig versus a et cetera, et cetera. Ooh, this is interesting. We're getting a phone call, so I don't know if that's upsetting the balance of things. I'll tell you what. In a moment of confusion, they say, ask one person to do a thing. You know what? Actually, here, somebody just let me know whether or not we've dropped any frames at any point during any of this. Oh, see, I did the thing again. I held my hand up and it lost the tracking on it. Not for nothing, guys. This shot, pretty good. But yes, some confirmation that that we haven't been dropping frames would be great. There we go. So you get a little bit of, oh, yeah, this is all backwards. Okay. Interesting. I am becoming cyborg. Yeah. So anyway, we'll go for a walk with Joy. You'll be able to track the Weimaraner, and you'll see our usual setup. But in the back acres here, there is a pretty good spot up here where down the road I would love to create kind of a fire watch tower, because there is a gorgeous panoramic view. But meanwhile, the property has a kind of a deep 157-foot elevation change as you go down. And it's really great because up at the front, you're able to hear all the traffic noise. And of course, the buildings all have flat, hard edges that reflect sounds and cause echoes and so on. But as you cross that equator past the soaking pool, you come down into this area where it gets very, very quiet. And you start to be able to hear stuff like airplanes overhead. And you can hear the soft crunch of your boots. There you go. See how this looks. We just went from Sesame Street to Mr. Rogers real fast. Ah, there we go. Aaron says confirmation that frames are not dropped. The delay may be massive. That wasn't nearly as bad as I feared. That was 30 seconds or so. Okay. Are you guys able to hear that? You can hear birds chirping, the airplane overhead. Yeah. Hang on. There we go. Yeah. So this spot right here, there we go. So this spot right here, every day as part of the lap, when I was playing Hearthstone a lot, this would be the spot where I'd sit, and when this fills up, it fills all the way up with water. And Joy would get a little bit bored after about 5 or 10 minutes. And so she would go out. Weimaraners are hunting dogs, so they love to carry things, love to work out their jaws. So she would go and dig up a rock and bring it over. All of these rocks were dug up and carried by mouth from one Weimaraner. You can actually see the claw marks on there. She digs these up and carries them. And I don't know how she did it. Look at this guy. It's ridiculous. Here, I'll check. Cool. Wow, that's fantastic. If the stream is really holding up, then that's something. Yeah, I mean, I guess auto settings are the way to go. Okay. So over here, you guys remember in the Zeta provocation? This is where the final file was, literally right under my butt the entire time. Everyone thought I was doing a bit because I was overcomplicating it, not realizing that I thought I had to sit and see things from that spot. Turns out that was the actual destination. And then behind me, you can see the Tower of Stones that was created by Andrew Heaton when he stayed on campus. He would go out and every day make a little Zen moment of creating these little towers. And then it's been fun year over year. You know, he'll come back after a year. He'll be in town this week, as a matter of fact. He'll come back and he'll take a walk and get a sense of whether or not his standings or his towers still stand. And then this little berm is one of my favorite spots. Here, we'll just move that over here. So this here is another spot. This is interesting. That's kind of a fun game, is to realize that in order to show you this, I have to think in terms of kind of like a video game where the position is so that you can catch it over my shoulder. Oh, I just did it again. There we go. Meanwhile, I guess the sound is still good. So this is out at the very back. There's one, oh, there we go. There's only one spot on campus that we can really develop without disturbing anything that's currently happening here. And that's the area behind me. I don't know what that's going to look like or when. But in the meantime, this path, you're able to, we love the idea of having like a couple of little tiny homes that we don't tell anyone about. So imagine you're just walking around here and then you just kind of bump into, out of nowhere, a fairy tale witch's candy house, just with no explanation whatsoever. It'd be fun. So around this area, right here, is where Joy got a face full of porcupine quills. And it was really surreal because, like, the porcupine was out and she got a face of them. And then the porcupine just jumped up on this tree, at which point the job of the porcupine is to just be chill and hang out and not be impressed with you. And it's like, I got right up and took photos of it, and it just kind of goes, because it's got the natural defense mechanism of all those quills. It was amazing and very expensive. That was a $1,500 vet visit. And then Bonnie was like, well, if you've got her out, I know you guys don't do this, but could you, she's really bad at getting her nails done. Could you just also do her nails while she's out? And so it ended up being like $1,000 manicure, pedicure. Oh, we're all over the place, are we? Huh? Get reset. Check the shot. Not bad. I hope you guys are able to hear those sounds. I'll check and see if the gain is on. Yeah, it's got automatic gain on. I know there's nothing worse than watching somebody stare at a screen. Okay. Oh, hold on. Did you lose me? There you go. This way. This way. There you are. You got it. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. No. I'll have to manually reset it. That's fun. There we go. There we go. Hey, now we're talking. Oh no. What do you like? We're not in trouble, are we? Oh, there we go. Nice and settled. So it'd be great. I wonder if there's a way. I guess I could mount the cell phone right here, and as I walked, I guess anything with a push notification could get to me to where you guys can stay lively in the chat. But then if you needed to get word to me, either like maybe in the Discord, we could set that up to where that would go straight to the phone. And then if there's a technical thing that needs to be fixed, you could let me know. That would work. There's probably already a solution for this that I'm just not hip to. This right here is the one part of the trip that feels almost like cardio. It's like 2 flights of stairs, but it's all a little bit steeper. I didn't expect this to be a workout. Holding the avatar. Oh, on my left. Oh my God, you guys. Josie was so funny yesterday. I told her I wanted to show off. I wanted to show off how good the footage looked. And teenagers have an incredible capacity to just flatly tell the truth in such a way that when you hear it out loud, it sounds really embarrassing. So she was like, so you walked around with a camera on a stick and showed off your bathroom. I'm like, well, yeah. It's just like, okay, Dad. But it was very sweet. Oh no. Okay, that was a good learning lesson. So in that case, we had this thing not be tight enough, and oh, I see what happened. So as I was walking, this guy became untwisted and less tight. Okay, I think we're back now. Oh, that was a good opportunity to learn. All right. And so now, let me get back to the studio so we can actually have a two-way conversation. I'd be curious, things I'm interested in is whether or not it looks lo-fi, 15 frames per second, or, I mean, it definitely doesn't look like the production live stream. But I suppose the trade-off is consistency versus, yeah, we're losing frame rate, but we get a more consistent, if laggy, live stream. But if this does work, then what that would make available to us is the ability to have multiple of these. I would love to do ridiculous big events and, I don't know, treat them like the most important games in the world. Do like full sports rundown things. Hey, I know this guy. Okay. Oh, it got warm. Let's see. People are saying lots of mic pops. Okay, so the mic pops would be me handling this. Sorry, more mic pops are happening. Okay, that should be it. So in that case, the mic pops are the result of the 1/8 inch connector, male to male. So in that case, I can go ahead and add that to the list of things to replace. So if we get one with the right angle on there, and I'm already getting a mount that I could put both the camera on. Boy, now I'm getting a healthy glow. And I can't even turn down the AC in here because that app is going to choke if I do. So I have to physically walk over here. There we go. Ooh. All right. Cool. What else we got? 218 dropped frames out of 60,000. Okay, let me scroll all the way back. We'll get notes. You guys can give me notes and then I'll peek back on it. Let's see. Matt, I appreciate the good vibes, the energy of a spirit bomb. And Final Space Bob, of course, we're always looking for Bigfoot. We almost found him this time, I'm sure. Yes, Stephen Garrison, we did go full Mr. Rogers. 218 dropped frames out of 60,000. Not too shabby. Boy, you're not kidding, man. That's great. That's really good news. And all right. Yeah, we'll see how long I do the actual shoes, Michael Pena. I do need more monitors. Always. Right on. Okay, well, I'm going to call that a successful test. If you guys want to hit me up with ideas to take the show on the road, that'll be really interesting. But I guess that'll be it. CB, I know a few good flashy finger moves. Back when I was learning magic, the cardistry, before it had a name, was kind of looked down upon, because if you wanted to fool somebody, then it was better to not look like you had dexterous fingers. But then YouTube made possible an entire new division of magic that's somewhere in between juggling, an actual skill, and magic, a thing where you fake having a skill. And cardistry was born. And so it was really exciting to watch all of that develop, although I myself didn't learn too many of those things. And yeah. Tell me this. If we're going to rank the studio live stream experience as, let's just say, baseline 10 out of 10, how close does the cellular live stream experience come? So I guess first you got in studio wired, which we had on Friday. Then second, you have Wi-Fi, which when it worked, we had a certain level of fidelity yesterday. Was that yesterday? I love those moments when you look back 24 hours and you think of everything that happened. You're like, seems like a lifetime ago. There's something about being on rails headed somewhere that is just a joy. Oh, sorry. Let me get this back. And then we have whatever this cellular experience is. So if wired in studio is 10 out of 10 polish, give me a subjective Wi-Fi rating and a subjective cellular one. Nick with the C says 9 out of 10. CB says 8 out of 10. Mark Daga says 7 out of 8. I don't know if that's 7 or 8. Flash Assassin says 7.5 with a dip down to 5. 8 out of 10, still very watchable. Nick with the C says today was a 9, yesterday was a 7. I assume that's a reference to the frustration of when the signal drops out. And it would be really good if there was an easy button to press to essentially just let you know that it's a known issue, because the moment that I hate in a live stream is when things aren't happening and I don't know if it's me or not. 7 or 8, Gwen Pro says, sound was amazing minus the mic popping. Quality was stable with a moment or two where it dropped. Mark Daga says cellular did have more blocking and banding where you could see the squares when there's lots of movement. Yeah, that tracks. That makes sense. But again, knowing that all of this is in a self-contained on device. So when it comes to novel storytelling, there's oftentimes these brief windows that technology makes certain things possible. And if you're lucky, some really good storytelling can happen in the middle of it. For example, think of bullet time in The Matrix. That iconic, very important storytelling element is a perfect combination of form and function, where the actual design work factored into stuff. Weirdly, the first time I saw the bullet time effect was not on The Matrix. It was because it got to theaters faster. It was on the movie Wing Commander, where you got to see kind of a version of it, but it was just a flashy effect that didn't matter to the story. All of this is throat clearing to say Right now we're in a cool spot where this level of self-contained excellence of live streaming connectivity is not yet well known by everyone. So this feels kind of like early Ustream days, only on a more robust platform and a robust network with more robust equipment, ? We'll find out. So my magician brain immediately starts trying to think of like, what kind of clever, magical moments can we capture before everybody becomes suspicious and wary of a guy walking down the street with a camera like this. Like right now, I assume everybody will just be all like, oh, this is probably a crappy live stream. They're not expecting a full 4K 60 frames per second experience. But you guys can hit me up. Yeah, Mark, I agree. It is a very what a time to be alive. All right, well, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you very much, guys. Patreon.com/modernrogue. I'll be sending you guys some tasty goodies there pretty soon. Bye. And now I know how to shut this off.